Steve Robertson, Swindon Ladies team manager, 3-0 defeat today against Basildon. First of all, your reaction?
Probably a fair result. I think they got off to a great start, scoring a couple of goals quite early. It probably shows the difference in levels in this league. I think in the first sort of 5 minutes we probably could have nicked one, given ourselves something to play for in the game. But I think we're just a little bit rusty, which is going to happen. We've not played in 3 or 4 weeks, and I think you could tell that after about 20 minutes they looked like we were out of legs already. And then we had a second wind, which was great. But like anything, if you're not playing football, it's very difficult at this level to get past a team that's playing regularly. So credit to the girls, they worked their socks off just all the way to the end, which is all we asked them to do beforehand. Stuck to the task as best they could, didn't fold. But no, we were beaten by a team that is a lot sharper than we were today.
I was going to say, first, you've not had a game for several weeks, I believe, and as you say, they came out of the blocks really quick to start with. The impressive forward line, moved it very quickly, very direct their play, weren't they? They went 2-0 up after 6 minutes, and one or two of us feared the worst. We thought it might be quite a cricket score, but in the end the Swindon girls did battle back, and up to half time had brought themselves back in the game.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean. The fact that we haven't played a long time probably shows why they scored 2 really quick goals right at the beginning of the game. But when you do that, it makes it very difficult to get back into the game. And like I said, with the girls having not played in so long, it's hard to crucify them at the end. It's hard to have a pop at them and say, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. All we can ask is that they work as hard as possible, stick to the game plan we ask them to do, and they did that today. So I think moving forward, we play Coventry on Wednesday, which should be another tough game. But hopefully on a midweek game under the lights, we'll have a good squad out again, and hopefully we can give a good account of ourselves.
Yeah. Did you have to say much to him at second half? I mean, you moved 1 or 2 around. You brought Maynard on up front as a bit of a battering ram, and you kept pressing. But their defensive line was very strong today, I thought. Yeah,
I think the biggest issue we had in the second half is we were getting the ball from the back end to the front end, but the back end wasn't following it up the pitch. So we had the gaps between our midfield and our defensive line and our striking line were too big at times, and that showed in the first half, especially at this pitch here. I go on about it all the time with the girls, is you've got to be able to play your conditions, and it's not the easiest pitch to play on at the minute, which is one of the reasons we like playing at Shriven. Gives us a bit of an advantage, hopefully. But yeah, we were getting the ball where we wanted it to go, but because we didn't have bodies up there to support it, it was just coming straight back all the time. So the girls need to learn that, and we had a chat about that at the end. It's about managing the game, because when we did get them up the pitch 3 or 4 times, we kept them in their half, and when we kept them in their half, we looked like we might create something. The problem we had was it was keeping them up there and being brave enough to stay in their half. I don't think we did that well enough today. But again, it's hard for me to criticise, because when you haven't played in that long and you come up against a team that's nice and sharp, confidence does get knocked after 10-15 minutes, especially going 2 down. So I think they showed good resilience to come back into it. Like I say, I think if we'd nicked one at 2-0, we might have given us a little push towards the end. But fair play to them. They had 2 or 3 decent chances. They probably should have buried the game a little bit earlier.
Yeah, they had one, I think it was ruled offside, that they weren't too happy with, and then 73 minutes in, an excellent finish from just outside the box, I think it was, and that was it really. But the girls did battle right through to the end. I've got to give a mention to your number 4, I thought, Shanice, is it?
Yeah.
Who I thought was pick of all the players today, did exceptionally well at the back.
Well, she's been like that all season. She's been like that for the last 2 seasons we've had her. She's fantastic athlete. I think she goes to show what you need to do away from the game. She's in good shape, keeps herself ticking over, and she does that away from training. So that's another thing we mentioned at the end there, is that at this level of football you have to do something away from training. There's only so much we can tell people to come in, so much we can tell people to do things. At this level of football, they've got to go away and do something on their own, and she's a prime example of somebody that will go to the gym enough times a week, keeps herself in good condition. And I think it showed today that she was probably the sharpest one there. So it is hard to get everybody else to do that. It's having the lifestyle choice, isn't it, and getting people to buy into it. But she does that brilliantly. I think that showed today. Like you said, you picked her out from the side. I'd agree with you. I thought she was top draw.
You got, as I say, Wednesday night, you got Coventry here. That's going to be another toughie. And then I believe you've got one more game after that, Queen's Park Rangers, which is a game on paper you could win.
Well, yeah, we've earmarked the QPR game as a game we kind of need to win. So that's sort of all our eggs are in that basket, if you like. But today's game, Wednesday's game, they're free swings for us, which is why we can't get too annoyed about it. It's almost like getting back for pre-season and playing a couple of games before the big one. But we do want to try and get some of that last 2 games before we get to QPR, because if we can nick something, we go into the QPR game with a little bit of a cushion. But it'll be difficult. Coventry are a good team. They play on a 3G every week, so I can't wait till they come down and see the mighty Shrewley. Yeah. But yeah, we'll give it a good go and we'll see what we can do. And if we can get something out of the game, brilliant.
Great. Thanks very much, Steve.
Thank you very much, Steve.